I'm Ron Cunningham, Llano County Judge, and you're listening to Texas County Voice, a podcast for all 254 counties. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Texas County Voice. I'm Jody Sebern with the Texas Association of Counties. Our guest on today's show is Schleicher County Judge Charlie Bradley. Judge Bradley has been Schleicher County Judge for the past 15 years, and he currently serves as Vice Chair on the Board of Directors for the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool. I caught up with him for a quick conversation at TAC's Healthy County Boot Camp in February. Please listen as we again spotlight and celebrate the county officials who make a difference in their communities and in Texas. So I'm here with Schleicher County Judge Charlie Bradley. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
How long have you been county judge?
Been county judge since 2009, so 15 years. I took office and ran for an unexpired term.
What did you do before you ran for county judge?
I was a catastrophic insurance adjuster. So the job is pretty much similar. Most people are in a bind. They want to see you right away, and they got to have it right now.
Yeah.
And they're mad.
Well, since you've taken office 15 years ago,
Yes, sir.
What are some of the challenges that you face and frequently, that come up time and time again?
Oh, some of the challenges. Now, we're a small county, population-wise.
You're one of the smallest population-wise in Texas.
Yeah, well, our population, according to the last census, is 2,500 people. Before that, according to the 2010 census, we were 3,461 people. I really don't think that we lost that many people. It was more probably the way the census was taken with online, maybe lack of census workers, COVID, all sorts of things that could have happened in that aspect.
Right. The census showed that Schleicher County saw a population decline,
Yes.
And according to the census, it was fairly significant. Well, do you remember the percentage?
What was it? 30-something percent. I can't remember.
But you're saying part of that is a miscount.
I think it could have been, because there was a lot of people, and we have a more advanced age population, especially in town. And a lot of those folks, they're like, oh, I'm not getting on the computer, or maybe didn't have the computer skills or a computer to get online to do their census. And like I say, lack of possibly census workers could have had an issue with it. And maybe the COVID aspect of it, people, I'm not opening my door for a stranger. That could have been, because I got plenty of phone calls. There's some strange woman outside my house. What's going on? And I go check it out, and I said, well, this is a census worker. Well, I don't know her. And, which I know who lives there. I know how many people are there. And I don't know whether they took it down or not, but I gave them the information they probably needed.
Well, Schleicher County, I assume primarily is a farming and ranching dependent.
Yes, agricultural based. We used to have some oil and gas values, but those have declined. We're just outside of, say, some of the big oil and gas hits of the recent years, Permian Basin. Those types, and not the shales, and not like down around San Antonio or south of San Antonio, some of those places. But we're still moving along. There's been some recent interest, of course, in wind power, solar power, those types of things.
Yeah, you border Tom Green County, right?
We border Tom Green County to the south. We're north of Sutton County, which is I-10 runs through there. So we're not in the middle of Texas, but I kind of consider we're about halfway between, say, the eastern border of Texas, Beaumont, that area, to El Paso.
Do you have a lot of people living who work in San Angelo but live in Schleicher County?
There's a few, but not not that many. I mean, there's probably more people that are commuting to and from San Angelo that I may be aware of. And I would say those are more office jobs, things of that sort. But most of the, say, workforce, is it ag-related, oil field service companies, and they'll probably, when they go to work, they may travel 2-3 hours to go do their work over in Big Lake area, up around Sterling City, places like that, Glasscock even.
Well, before we started recording this conversation, you mentioned briefly unfunded mandates, which is a big concern for our members in Texas counties. Can you just elaborate on that a bit for our listeners?
Well, several years ago, I gave an example of an underfunded mandate with when I was down in Austin, and there was a group of county officials, county and municipal officials that were invited down, and mainly people were talking about unfunded mandates, and we kept saying, look, the same shoe doesn't fit everybody's foot. So I gave an example to an individual that I was talking to. I said, well, I'll give you an example of an underfunded mandate. And I did, and they said, well, there's a fee that's collected for that. And I said, yes, it's $5 every time. The state gets 3 of it. We don't even get the full $2 because the 5% of the $5 comes out of our $2 part for the financial institution that we have to use. Well, that being said, let's just say we got the $2. At the time, the most we'd ever done in 1 month was 60 of those. And I said, well, one, the software we had to get, if we'd had to have gone to the software vendor that was stated we had to go to at first, it was going to cost our county an additional $17,000 to $22,000 to get that software, and then it was going to cost an additional $10,000 to $12,000 a year. We cried and moaned about it long enough that some of our software vendors from small counties were able to piggyback onto that preferred software company. Anyway, so it cost us an additional $7,000 to $8,000 to get that added on, with an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year for the service of it. Well, like I said, the most we had ever done at that time was 60 e-files. If we got the full $2, that, my math is not very good, but 60 times 2 is $120. $120 times 12 is what, $1,400 and some odd dollars that we were getting a year that wasn't even paying for our yearly service fee on that. Well, and they said, well, but Harris County, created a new department, new jobs, all this stuff, and they're making money off of it. I said, there you go again. The same shoe doesn't fit everybody's foot. If it did, Cinderella's uglier, meaner stepsister would have married the prince.
And this is a perennial issue.
Well, just for this year alone, the election changes that were made and trying to keep open longer, even on Sunday, and the time workers and so forth. And I realize the election is a hotbed issue. But I think our people do a great job with elections. Our public, just trying to get workers is a hard thing. But then to having to keep that open, we had a talk in Commissioner's Court just the other day about, okay, some of these changes, yes, were done in regular session. Some of them didn't get to, I was not aware, and the money was not requested when I sent out my budget letters, and when I got those budget letters back. For whatever reason, doesn't make any difference now. We're going to have to pay our workers. Overtime is going to be a big issue with some of our regular employees that deal with that. So what you're looking at is, where are we going to get that money? What's going on? And do we need to keep our poll open extended hours on Saturday and Sunday in Schleicher County, Texas? It's doubtful.
Well, Judge, I appreciate your time. You're on our Health and Employee Benefits Board.
Yes, sir.
And we are here at our annual Healthy County Boot Camp. So you just want to talk briefly about the importance of wellness for county?
Yeah. Well, and this is the 15th year. Now, our county did not necessarily get involved with the wellness part of it for several years after I got into office. We probably started looking into it, talking to county, and one of those things that you run into time to time, well, we just never done that before, or, well, this is the way we've always done it. So changing the mindset of not only your elected officials that oversee some of these things, but your employees that work for the county, which at the end of the day, I think that your health is important, and you should be trying to educate your employees for a more healthy lifestyle. One, they tend to be happier. They tend to miss less work. And it also spills over into their families, the community.
Well, thank you, Judge. I appreciate
Yes,
your
sir.
time.
Thank you. Good meeting.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Texas County Voice. We appreciate Schleicher County Judge Charlie Bradley for joining the podcast. Please subscribe to Texas County Voice for more stories about Texas and for more conversations with local leaders making a difference in Texas counties. And visit county.org to learn more about Texas counties and the Texas Association of Counties. We'll see you next time.